like to show you the draping options for the Thai massage leg sequence. So I always make sure that I undrape the lower part of both legs. And also something, whenever you move the client's legs around, I think it's a lot more respectful of the client's body and vulnerability if you actually move only one leg at a time when you make room. Because if you pick up both legs and move it, it's kind of vulnerable, and it's just much more pleasant if you move one leg at a time. So that's something to consider in whatever move you're doing. Maureen, will you put your hands on your chest so that they're not in my step way? Great. So, come on up, just so because chances are you will have already been in this position, all right, and done the elephant walk. So what I'm going to have you do is take the corner, come underneath, and I do a real broad draping so that the fabric covers the entire thigh, okay? And then that way, not only is there visual draping, but they can feel the fabric between your hands and their skin, and it really makes them feel like you're maintaining their modesty. Okay, and I'll just show you how to get in and out of what I just told you with the draping. So take a breath in. So, pressing the straight leg thigh. Scooch my body a little closer, and then pressing the back of the bent leg thigh. Transitioning to the shot put, so the knee going to the opposite shoulder. And Maureen, put your arms out like a T. Bringing their foot down here and crossing. Now, since I'm in this position, I'm actually going to show you with the drape how to transition into what I call one of the excellent advanced stretches that incorporates a spinal twist. So I'll keep her in this position. I'll come down. And I'll open up her leg and bring the side of my body right into her resistance so her leg can rest on me. And then I'm going to anchor the straight leg. I'm just going to gently support here and press and stretch her. If you've got someone who's really tight, you may need to use both hands to anchor. And then I like to incorporate some of the some muscle energy techniques into the advanced excellent stretch. So one of the ways I do that is I'll bring her to the edge of her limit, and then I'll have her gently press your leg into me, yep. And then release, and then I'll bring her a little farther after a little bit of like maybe a half a second pause. That gets more this section as far as opening and lengthening. Press again and release. If you want to isolate more specifically the hamstring, one of the things I ask people to do is you can use different verbal cues yourself, but I often will tell people to pretend like this is a nutcracker, like an old-fashioned nutcracker, and my body's a nut, so bend your knee, crack the nut, and let go. That really helps to open up, isolate more of that hamstring itself. Okay. This is a really wonderful stretch. Let me show you how to get out of it gracefully while still maintaining their modesty and good draping. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your hand that's closest to their head, and you're going to almost like you're diving underneath their leg. You're going to dive underneath. This is what's happening with your hand. You're going to dive underneath, but then you're going to rotate your hand so that your fingers come and hold their drape on the back of their thigh. Let me demonstrate. Like this, I step out a little bit, and then I support here. And I come out, and then I'll support their ankle. I'll rotate their leg out in a nice circle, opening up that hip. I grasp the edge. She's a little tucked in, so this may occasionally happen with clients. Lift your bum a little. Thank you. And then slide them down. Okay. And I'm going to also show you how to do this advanced Esalen stretch from on the ground. I will re-show you the drape, and then I also will include a little bit of a close-up so you can see what's happening with the hand with the drape. So let me do this for a moment. Okay. So if I'm doing this from the ground, I will start on this side, because I've already stretched this leg. I want to stretch this one. And what I'll do is I'll take the corner that's closest to the leg that I'm going to stretch. I'll grab it in my hand that's closest to her head, and I'll lift underneath like this, generously covering her. At this point, I rotate her out and around so that I can step between her legs, like this. Now, so that she really feels covered, I often will like to tuck in underneath behind. That makes it a little bit trickier when you're getting out, but it really makes them feel covered. And then from here, I'll do some of the muscle techniques that I showed. So my back comes kind of diagonally towards her. Press your leg into my body and release. Good. And press again and release. Now pretend like this is a nutcracker and my body's a nut. And release. There you go. Now also, this is a great position. If I rotate my body, let your leg be heavy, and support her knee, this is also a wonderful position to work the lateral hamstring, the energy lines of the hip, and also get the underside of the IT band. So this is a real nice position to work in, like that. Okay, so let me show you how to get out of here gracefully using the draping. So the hand that's closest to the head comes under and around. So Sibylla, come over here and take a look. Let them see how it looks from a practitioner point of view. Maybe come almost behind me and above, like that. And then maybe you can zoom out so they can see how I get out of this. So back up a little, back up pretty far.
We do.
Okay. So I undo where I tucked in here. Okay, and I come out, right? And then around and down. And that was how to drape with the introduction to the Thai massage leg sequence, and it was also an advanced spinal twist that I learned when I was at the Esalen Institute. Great.